So first we'll do a giant group photo, and then we can split it off. Yeah.
Giant group photo. Sounds like it's everybody. Giant group, right?
So, well, go around here. We'll make 2 rows. So everybody come on up. And then want everybody on the carpet, so then just go in between shoulders. Excellent.
I know where my spot is.
Oh, you are.
I'll have you come on. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start here. Go ahead. And then we'll look right here. Okay, and then towards me. Great.
And then me.
Okay, and then we'll do Owens group. We'll do Owens is next, and then the other group after that.
College or the Y?
Well, first we'll do college, and then we'll do Y. How's that? Okay, great. All right. Looking this way first. Okay, go there. Okay, and then the Y. All right, looking great. Hold there. Anybody else?
She's come to a couple of our Y events. I know we'll see her in a couple weeks at the CCTV, so she is, I think that's just a.
Sure, thanks.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Have the new partners just totally talk.
wondering how she's
y'all need to focus.
Should be good.
This is the spot. Okay. You doing a handheld?
Yep, yeah, very nice.
Does that work?
You want? Okay.
If you stay focused.
Okay. It should be. It should pick up.
No, and I decided to, I was looking into it, I'm actually going to get a website. Start doing it, so trying to sell some stuff. I've been looking into it. You can get a website for like $12 a month. You know, so it's super cheap. I just got to do some editing and that, but probably this spring I'll start doing a little while, you know. I figure if nothing else, I figure, you know, it's not like I need the money to make a living. But, you know, who knows? Yeah.
Okay, we're live right now.
You said there's this thing that's called Photoshop.
Yeah.
That's my plan to use it. It's like I guess the nice thing is that like you can sync it with your Instagram so that if you post Instagram it updates to your website and stuff. So it's kind of, I was looking at some of the stuff. You know, I'm not quite to where I got everything figured out. One of those
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Where do you want me to stand?
Water over.
Does that work? You guys, we all good?
Shot good.
Got shot? Okay. So yesterday we introduced our budget to the state legislature, and one of the main things that we have in that budget, of course, is childcare, and it really does two things. It helps working families be able to afford childcare. We subsidize that. It allows the children to develop. You know, this is not just taking care of kids, it's also helping them develop it. It's teaching the children. It's getting them ready, frankly, for kindergarten. And so that's just very, very important. It also frees parents up to be able to go to work and to feel comfortable when they're working that their child is going to be well taken care of. So this is one of the essential parts of our budget that we introduced yesterday. We wanted to come here today. This is a top-rated child care facility, and wanted to have the opportunity just to talk to the folks here and see how everything was going.
Did anything that you see here today stand out to you?
Well, I think what stands out is the partnerships that they have. I mean, they have partnerships with the zoo. They have partnerships, work with the Y very closely. You know, it's anything to give young people more stimulation, more exposure, excitement to life, and all the things that are here in the community. So that's really the education part. I think the education part is just very, very, very important. Anybody else?
I have unrelated questions.
Shocking that we would have unrelated questions.
So if everybody Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Funding critical community services. Organizations like Toledo's only domestic violence crisis center are increasingly concerned about potential funding cuts. How can your administration reassure these organizations?
Yeah, if you look at our budget, it has a real focus on children, has a real focus on supporting families. Helping nonprofits, certainly, but also one of the new things that we have in this budget is a tax credit, a child tax credit. Families should be able to raise their children, make decisions about how many children to have. They should be able to do that, and we need to support them in whatever decisions that they make. But we know, and I know from talking to families across the state of Ohio, many of them are frankly struggling. So in this budget, we have $1,000 for children under the age of 7. And this would really help working families. It's focused on working families that are struggling, and we think it will be a great help to those families.
Governor, how much will $1,000 really buy in terms of child care?
Look, it can be used for anything. It can be used for child care. It could be if one of the parents is a stay-at-home parent. It can be used simply to help the family with expenses. And it's $1,000 per person. So if you have 2 or 3 children under the age of 6, that's a significant amount of money. I think that, coupled with what we're doing in regard to child care, subsidizing the child care, someone in the state of Ohio with 2 children, a couple of four people, if their income is under $64,000, they're going to qualify for some subsidized child care. And we've expanded this in the last budget. We keep it in this budget. Again, it goes back to what I think is the most important thing in Ohio today, and that is supporting our families, investing in our people. We're creating jobs all over the state of Ohio every single day. The real question always is, are there going to be the people to work there? When I ask businesses to come into Ohio and expand in Ohio, one of the questions they always have to look at is, are there the workers to do the job if we come to Ohio? We're a very competitive state. We're competitive in regard to taxes. We have an abundance of water. We have electricity. We have a great work ethic. But it always comes down to whether or not the company can find the right employees. So investing in our young people at an early age means that they're going to be more productive. What we want for every child is for them to live up to their God-given potential. And that's what places like this, frankly, are all about.
In your proposed budget, there was a lot of increases in taxes to other products such as marijuana, tobacco, sports betting even. Would the money from that go directly then into these child care services?
So some of the money goes into different things that we're doing. For example, the child tax credit, the $1,000 tax credit, that comes from an increase in the cigarette tax. We still are a state, unfortunately, that has a lot of health problems connected directly with smoking. So the more we can discourage that, the better off we are, better off people are. Taking that money, and investing it, directly in our families, particularly our families with children, makes a lot of sense.
Is there concern that nonprofits may be affected by the freezing of federal funds, and have you guys accounted for that in the state budget?
Well, it's a moving target, as you know. This constantly is changing every single day. So, what we assume is that this money will be unfrozen, and it will start flowing again. So, we wait and see. But of course, that's out of my category. That's up to Congress, and that's up to the president.
Are you concerned at all that these increases in taxes could then in turn impact small business with people not wanting to then shop there?
Business's biggest concern businesses have in this state is finding employees. So the more we can help families, the more we can invest in young people, invest in kids, the better off we are. We have cut taxes in this state every single budget that I have presented, and we have gotten taxes down to a point. No one likes to pay taxes, but we're very competitive with other states. What we have to really do is really focus on education. We have to focus on early childhood development. These are the things that are going to make the difference in the future of the state of Ohio. This is how we're going to grow. This is how we're going to expand. This is how we're going to create more jobs, having the workforce here to get the job done.
Your budget has line items for local jail construction. Do we know how that money's going to be distributed? And shovel-ready projects like the Lucas County Jail, are those going to move to the front of that line?
So what we have done is we've taken some of the money from the marijuana sales, some of the taxes for that, and dedicated those to our local jails. We know that our counties are struggling many times with the jails. Jails are very expensive, and so we've taken some of that money to apply to the jails. This will be a continuous fund, so every year this money will be replenished. And so if a jail does not get money one year, they certainly will still be eligible the next year. This will be decided by Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections. We've been able in the last several years and our last several budgets to get some money to go back to our local communities and help them, and that's what we want to continue to do with this budget.
Governor, Lucas County has one of the highest rates of problem gambling in the states, and a lot of that is sports betting and sports booking. Other than making it more expensive by doubling the taxes, what is the administration doing to address the problem of gambling, especially connected to sports betting?
Well, look, there is problem gambling. There's simply no doubt about that. The more it expands, we have seen the sports gaming companies do massive advertising, trying to reach people all over the state of Ohio and try to entice them into gaming. If you look at the dollars, Ohioans last year lost close to $1 billion, to the sports gaming companies. So to me, it just makes sense that these sports gaming companies need to give something back. And the fund that we are creating in this budget would not only help defer the cost of stadiums, but it would also help young people, families who can't afford a fee. If the school charges a fee for their child to participate in sports, this would subsidize that, so the child would no longer have a fee. The original sports gaming law that was passed, that is still in effect, requires a certain amount of money to be set aside every single day, percentage, for problem gamblers. And we continue to look at that and make sure that that's a robust program. But it certainly does remain a problem. There's no doubt about it.
I know you had mentioned that the cigarette taxes is going into this $1,000 child credit. Is that also for the vapor products and?
Yeah,
nicotine?
there's some tax on that as well. Anybody else? Okay, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Good to see you all. Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you here, Candace. It's always wonderful seeing you. Things are going well. Things are going well. They are. We're doing well with enrollment. It was really interesting. I couldn't catch your address live.